We're off to the pub now. Who doesn't love a good chat over a pint in the local? If you want some philosophical talk, you need to head down to a pub in Grimsby tonight. Philosophy in Pubs is a grassroots community group, and they promote community philosophy, deep thinking, deep chat across the world. It's happening at the Spider's Web pub in Grimsby tonight, and Sally is there for us at the pub this morning. Sally.
Good morning, Carl. Alas, I'm not actually inside the Spider's Web pub. That would probably be the earliest time I've been in a pub since that lock-in in 1994. That was quite a night. We're in the car park at the moment. I'm here with Billy Dasein, who is one of the people who has organised tonight's event. Now, he's a big philosopher, I must say. We've been philosophising quite a bit in this car park in the past 5 minutes, to a degree. Such a philosopher, in fact, that he's changed his name by deed poll to that name, Billy Dasein. Just tell me what's behind that, Billy.
Well, Dasein is a concept from the philosopher Martin Heidegger, who I studied over a few years, and it's a reminder of our basic question of being, because da means there in German and sein means being, so it's being there.
Right, OK. And you are going to be there at this pub tonight, philosophising, which, of course, is something that people have done in pubs for years, isn't it, really? And I suppose we're bringing it back to that idea of sitting, having a pint and having, well, to put it in no finer point, a good old chin wag, but I suppose choose subjects and direct the conversation a little.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, if you think about philosophy, it feels like it's something untouchable and something for, the dusty groves of academe. And you're absolutely right. There's no better space for taking that back and making a community philosophy than the pub.
And this is very important to you because you study education and you think it's very important for people to continue to learn into old age, continue to learn throughout their lives, regardless of whether they're at school or not.
Yeah, absolutely that. And we have the potential these days to make our whole lives a kind of learning culture, what with the internet and, information on demand. But going back to another concept from Heidegger called Mitsein, so it's with being. And really what that means is just being with and being together. And for me, that is the centre of what education really is. It's just being together and sharing ideas and thoughts and listening to each other.
And although we do have the internet and all these resources, there's no better way, is there, than to be actually with somebody and talking to them face to face and with a group of people.
Yeah, it's absolutely remarkable what treasures we store inside our heads. And, sometimes what you might think of as the most unlikely of persons is just a brilliant genius beneath it all.
Now, you've been to some of these events before because it happens nationally, Philosophy in Pubs, or PIP, I believe. PIPS is the acronym. You've been to some in Leeds and elsewhere in the UK, but this is the first in Grimsby, and you set it up. What will people expect if they're listening to this and they think, I'm going to give that a go? That sounds like a nice evening.
Well, because it's the first one, it will be organised. It will be organised discussion, and our first topic will be what is philosophy, and we will just think and talk about what philosophy means to us and not some dry dusty academic definition, although that is allowable. But we'll also be talking about the process, because philosophy, in a sense, and I don't want to preempt tonight's discussion, but there is a process of philosophy and what it is to ask philosophical questions and what is a philosophical question. So I guess for the first half of tonight, we'll be looking at how best we might actually approach such a discussion. And over time, we'll probably experiment with a few different ways of organising ourselves, but it'll be up to the PIPS group itself to decide this. This is not coming from me, this will be from the group.
It seems to me very timely because now more than ever we need to question, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely right. I mean, I mentioned the internet. There's good and bad in the internet, and we've got this idea of the self-fulfilling echo chamber and whatever on social media. We've got things like fake news going on. So to actually sit down over a pint, over a couple of hours with some friends and talk about one subject and look at it from many, many different angles is going to be such a beautiful thing.
Well, let's hope that this is the start of a regular thing then, Billy. The 4 Ps, I suppose: philosophy, a pint, people and a pub. Thank you very much. What time does it start tonight?
7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, and then if you can't come tonight, then it's every second Tuesday in the month.
OK, that's lovely. And it's the Spider's Web pub on Car Lane in Grimsby.
Brilliant, Sally. Thank you very much indeed. You did, and you, Lizzie, did philosophy A-level.
I did, yeah.
And I did theatre studies.
Yeah.
And psychology.
And psychology.
We both did psychology.
Yeah.
I loved psychology.
Yeah.
What you were telling me something about a cabbage.
Yeah, and your face looked exactly like when I used to go home and tell my mum and dad about it.
Yeah,
And
no, I was interested.
No.
It blows my mind a bit.
Right, so imagine something like this. Imagine you're a little maggot, right?
All right, I'm off. Okay.
No, do it. Stick with it.
All right.
You're a maggot in the middle of a lettuce, right?
Okay.
And you're on a shelf in a kitchen.
Yeah.
And you are right in the centre of it. You're tiny.
Yeah.
And because you haven't got the capability to
Yeah.
get out of it, all you will know, this little maggot,
Yeah.
all of your life is lettuce.
Yeah.
That's all you'll see. That's all you'll experience. You'll not know anything about the world outside of it.
Yeah.
And you'll die only knowing about lettuce.
I don't know what I'm missing though, do I?
But then you're sitting on a shelf and we know what you're missing. So
Yeah.
there is a kitchen, there is a wider world, there's a country, there's a world.
Yeah.
But you will never know about it. And the theory is that we could just be like that. That we could never know about the life outside the lettuce. Yeah, it is just like, when my dad used to go, tell us that thing where you think you see blue and I see red again. And then you skip. Like that.
Yeah. Well, my son philosophises about that already, and he's 8. He says things like, yeah, but how do you know it's blue? And then I say, get back to your room.
Yeah, you say, just is.
Stop
Just
answering
is.
back. Go and ask your mother. In a few minutes, we're talking about favourite kids' TV programmes. There's a top 10 of the favourites, according to Radio Times readers, I should say, which is out. And it's caused a storm of retaliation. Where are all the brilliant shows that we loved? We'll talk about it in a few minutes' time. Elsewhere in the news this morning, millions of Britons are being encouraged to pretend they were sick whilst on holiday, according to the travel association ABTA. And councillors in North East Lincolnshire will today look at whether enough progress is being made to find stopping sites for gypsies and travellers. Today's weather, chilly to start with, lots